This is the year that shift will lead. This is the year that offers each and every one of you a tremendous opportunity to step fully in who it is you want to be, not necessarily who you believe you're supposed to be.
I want to welcome all you out there, our audience, to a conversation between friends. This is our first podcast of the new year, 2025, and I'd like to take this time to have everyone individually talk about what they expect for themselves in 2025, what they expect maybe from the friendships that we developed here. So let's start with Wanda.
Hi. Boy, that's a good question. I'm expecting a lot for 2025. Just a lot of new, unexpected, new beginnings, new possibilities. And then I suppose I just want to focus on being me and figuring out what path I'm going to take for my ranch, for my spiritual growth, for my artistic growth. So I'm excited to see what's going to develop.
Well, I'm Edna, and for the 2025, I'm hopeful that it's going to be an exciting year full of many new experiences and more opportunities to be with friends and family. And we'll just see what happens.
Hi, I'm Nada. 2025 has started off at the bank, but this is all an opportunity for us to know who our community is, where our collaboration is, and how we all help each other through this process in which 2025 we have now come into is the catalyst of the future changes of our world. And that's exciting.
Okay. My name is Omar, and a lot of things happening, a lot of changes, and trust me, I'm not used to changes. I'm an engineer. I have a hard time with changes. Edna's retiring. My two kids are out in the workforce. Matthew's up for his third year in college. What I would like to see in 2025, personally for me, is I would like to cut out the reluctant part in what these fine ladies call me, the reluctant healer. I know that it's been difficult for me, and I know that it's every time I talk to them, they open my eyes to possibilities, and I would like to be more open, be more capable, and be a healer.
That's
So-
huge. That's great.
Mary Elizabeth?
I am Mary Elizabeth, though my friends call me ME, so please call me ME. And we are here also. We are the divine source, you see. We are you, speaking clear and loud here. We want you to hear. This is the year that shift will lead. This is the year that offers each and every one of you a tremendous opportunity to step fully in who it is you want to be, not necessarily who you believe you're supposed to be. If you allow yourself to open to the endless possibilities that the universe brings by just saying yes to what is new, there is nothing that can stop you. Allow yourself to see that opportunities arise with such ease if you allow yourself to just believe. Trust in you as we do and allow us to lead. Now, ME has something to say, so we'll shut up here, which is very rare, just so you know. I, as I said, am Mary Elizabeth, and this is a year of tremendous change. It's already been a year of upheaval in California here. I live outside of LA, and the energy is severe. But what I've seen and what is so hopeful to me is the spirit of community, the spirit of connection, the spirit of understanding that no matter who was in the path of these fires, whether they were rich or poor, old or young, homeless or well-honed, they were all affected equally. And the most amazing thing is those who were not affected in this area have come together to support each and every one of us. And in this process, we are showing our humanity. And that is what I'm excited to see in 2025, because this is going to be a year where we can thrive when we come together in that space of energy.
Wow. Fabulous.
Fabulous.
I know that we're going to move on, but I was very interested in your last comment about humanity. Because I'm always telling you that I can see it, humanity's lost, is getting lost in the noise.
Mhm. Yes.
And so I thought, this is not right. I mean, we don't have much in this as individuals. We do have humanity. And that should be something that we all look forward in the next coming year and the year after that. Because you can, just from the fires and just from what all the bad weather, and I can see it. I drive LA traffic all the time and I can see the humanity. So I appreciate you bringing that up because it's important to me because I say it to Ed all the time and the kids too, because I want to make sure that road rages and all that stems from not having humanity. And
It stems from a place, if we can address that.
Sure.
It's not that there's a lack of humanity, you're just focusing differently. If you look in the dictionary, one of the descriptives of humanity literally is kindness and gratitude. That is your humanity. That is who you are all born to be. And as much as catastrophic events are horrible things, it gives each and every one of you the push you need to once again find your humanity. Do you understand what we mean by that? So what you see on a day-to-day basis is just a disconnection. This is the year that you get to choose, will I be connected or will I stay in that space of disconnect, us against them? Because if you do that, you see, you are living the lie, not as a human being.
okay. Well, that's a lot of information for a brief introduction of what we want for 2025. But I, like always, all these four ladies have taught me a lot since I've met them. I've come a long way, and I hope that they will continue to teach me because I have a long way to go still. My wife says I'm pretty dense. Maybe, but we'll see how that goes. So, okay, so I'd like to preface the next part of our show here is that um, most of our questions have been overall reaching. This next set of questions are a little more specific to each person. So we're going to start again with Wanda and work our way all this way. We're going to go right through you two, and I'm going to skip you and then go back to you.
Because I talk too much.
So here's my first question to Wanda.
Okay.
So Wanda is an artist, a divine artist. Uh, she produces works of art that would make you cry, makes me cry. So my question to Wanda, and I know Wanda's in the same way I am sometime about being the reluctant this or reluctant that. But my question is, Wanda, when you are this divine artist that you do, and Wanda does lots of stuff. She does uh, totems, she does art, and you can see some of the art on the back wall probably. My question to you, Wanda, is when you sit down and do a piece of work. Let's just say you sit down one morning and you're doing a totem. Are you, when you do that, are you giving part of your energy, your divine energy to each piece as you work on it? Are you telling yourself, oh, this is going to be this, and it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to do this for many people? Are you giving that sense of divine energy to these pieces. And if you are doing that, are you aware whether or not it is part of that piece? Whether it goes to somebody over here or somebody over there and they purchase it and it's just those pieces are now part of Wanda. And you believe that you have that energy remains in those pieces of art, both the totems and the paintings you draw.
I think it depends on what it is I'm doing. I think no matter what, whether I realize it or not, my energy's going into what I'm creating because it is a part of me that gets transferred into whatever the creation is. Like I say, most of my artwork is commissioned. So I've owned a graphic design company for 10 years. So I am focused, and I had this conversation one time. It's on the person I'm creating it for. So I'm sure that their energy or their interest or their vision is part of that, which is part of the inspiration for what I create. Um,
But the totems aren't commissioned usually.
but
The totems are not commissioned.
no, so that's something new that I've been doing. And I was doing it as kind of a homework assignment from because they've been wanting me to create something just for myself because for so long, really almost my whole entire life, I create something to either be sold or for purchase for someone else. And I started that in before I was a teenager. So, and all through high school and my whole life. So for me to switch and do something just for me is really different. And I had somewhat of a problem with it because then I'm always really self-critical. So I'm trying to get over that. But the totems was interesting because I had an idea of what I was going to do, and I decided I was going to do 3 of each animal, and each one of them came out completely and totally different. And then one, I was, always start out with a ball of clay, and just kind of imagine it from there, and then I was trying to make some animal, and then it like turned into a seal. So I was like, oh, so I do try to go with it, but I usually have an idea of what I'm going to make. But if there is a change of thought, I've learned to I was talking about that, and I like how you ask the clay what you want it to be or what you want it to form. So I had that happen with, I was trying to make something else, and it turned into something completely different. And it turned out really good because I went with that.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I'm exploring and trying to connect with. Say with the pet portraits, I'm looking at a picture of someone's pet, usually their past. Very rarely are they alive. So people want a picture of their pet after they pass. And I didn't realize that I was connecting with that pet, but Mary Elizabeth and we were able to say, no, you're connecting with that actual pet. And I didn't realize I was always asking them, because I'd look at the picture or they give me a series of pictures, and I would say, okay, help me, whatever the dog is. I'm like, okay, talk to me, Harry. I'm gonna, Fido, whatever. Just help me with your picture here. What do you want to convey? Because often I'll get a picture of, when they're a puppy, and I ask for pictures of, okay, because when you're taking different photographs, the lighting will change. Or it's a picture of when it's young or when it's old, right before it died. So I'm like, if you need to, send me however many pictures and say, this is the coloring I want. This is the expression I want. I like this pose. So again, that's why I say I'm working off what the customer wants, which I'm really used to doing rather than giving, so that I'm making sure that I'm giving them what they want because that's what they're paying for. So I don't know. So that's new for me, just like you are discovering your abilities with exposure to all of these wonderful friends. I'm learning about myself too, that I have that I'm able to have that connection to put things through.
So you're learning about yourself.
Yeah.
And to make a strong point about knowing when you ask a totem or the material you're going to make, asking it what it's going to be. I'm a hobbyist woodworker, and for the longest time, I would battle. I would get a piece of wood because I'm going to make this. I'd get a piece of wood, go to the store, put it on my lathe, and turn that thing, and no matter what I did, it just wouldn't come out. And then it goes, it's because you're not asking the wood. No pun intended. So the next time I went to the stores, I had in my mind what was I going to do. And so I would just go to each little block and say, this is what I want you to be. And it wouldn't come back. Eventually I found one that said, yeah, this is it.
I'll be that.
Yeah. And
I know people think
people
that's
were looking at me like, it's weird.
Yeah, you're talking, oh, do you want to be my craft project? Do you want to be my craft project?
But it does help. It tremendously does.
Well,
help.
they said that about Michelangelo. He did a sculpture in the marble.
Yeah, the marble.
He was like, the marble is who talks to me. The slab of marble is what's going to come out. So, I mean, you've heard about it, obviously through the centuries of creative people that listen to the
modem.
Yeah,
the energy of
that particular piece came
Yeah.
out to be something else.
And it worked. It was amazing. And it worked. So it does work. And then the other part, Wanda, is okay. So when I see your pictures, and we talked about this, right?
Mhm.
That I can see the emotion of the pet, and it makes me cry when I look at them.
And that's funny because most people cry when I give them their pet portraits, but I always just assumed it's because it reminds them of their pets that passed.
That's right.
But you really shook me because you looked at my portfolio and you didn't know any of those animals,
Yeah.
and you had tears in your eyes, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
what's going on.
He just cries for
whatever,
everything. He just cries for everything.
What's he asked?
See, look, I'm crying right now. Just for everything.
I was like, that was really moving. So that was a huge compliment to me.
Yeah, and I think in moving forward with your artwork, you
That
saw
helped
your people crying, and I think you should talk to them, not just here's the work I've done. I hope you like blah blah blah, and they're crying and they're happy. I think you should have a conversation with them about what they believe they're seeing, because I think that will help them, help themselves, help you and understand what's going on. Because you give a piece of work and they say, oh, it's great, and they start crying, but I think you should have a conversation with them. I think it'll help them and help you.
Like, what do I say? Why are you crying? Because I
No,
just
no.
gave you your picture.
What,
You can say something just as simple
Thank you,
as,
it's a compliment. I'm sorry your pet is dead.
yeah.
just simply say, why does that bring your emotion? What
Yeah.
what is bringing that emotion through?
Yeah, that's a perfect way of saying it. Just so they tell you.
Yeah, usually people just say, oh my, that's them, that captures them.
Yeah.
Because I'm always really, really worried about it.
Yeah, stop being worried.
When I give people
Says the
I'm
reluctant
like,
healer. Yeah, says the reluctant healer.
I say it to her all the time. She doesn't believe me.
Yeah. All right, so Edna,
Yes, sir.
your question's about the same, but it's a little different because you don't provide that kind of frequency. You are an energy healer. And so my question is this. When you are healing or having a session with a customer, and you're healing them, and you're, do you feel that the energy you are giving these people, do you feel that it's in part of who you are? You are giving them more than just the quantum idea, that you are imparting to them a sense of your energy. And that's it.
So first of all, I don't see myself as a healer. I am a channel, and I channel energy from the angelic realm. So the energy that is flowing through me is actually coming from above. So technically, I guess there is a part of me that is sending energy and connecting with the person, but it's not really, I don't see it as my energy. It's divine energy that's going through me. So when I am sending the energy to the person, it is actually the person that is doing their own healing. I am still simply removing the blocks or sending the energy to the blocks and helping that energy, how do I want to say it? It's helping the DNA restructure and the body come back online so that the person's body remembers what it is to be healed. So that's how I see it. I don't see it as me giving away my energy. I see myself as a channel of the energy, and I just channel it and provide it for the person who is ready and willing to accept it.
So you don't sense You do not sense when they walk away and they're done with you and they walked away. You don't have a sense of what they're feeling, what you've done for them, what is going to happen for them, moving forward. You don't have a sense of that. You just provided the energy to help them, to help their body heal, to make them, whole. I was just curious if a little bit of you is not thinking, is there some residual effect?
Well, there is residual effect, but I mean, it's the person is taking the energy with them, and they will do with it what they want. If they want the energy to continue to work through them, it will continue to work through them, and it will help them and continue to help them for as long as they need it. And I am hopeful that they will be, accepting of the energy and that they will feel better. That is always my hope.
Yeah.
But and I only find out later if they come back and tell me that it worked, and I'm happy about
Yeah,
it.
because we had one lady who came back and
Yeah.
was so ecstatic about it. Season before that, she gave us a video testimonial on the spot about how she was feeling. I can walk now. And so,
So you don't think that just your energy field, your your personal energy field is interreacting on some level
Yes,
with the
it is.
other person?
I do. I do have to physically or connect with the person.
Yeah.
So, and there is a physical connection on a 3D, some kind of emotional connection. Like I'm willing to help you. Here's the energy. But the energy that flows through me is not all
Yours,
mine.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, I get that. Because I know when she did my sister, and I have had shields too, that we don't realize we had put up a barrier or a shield, so for her to get in through that, I know it's the angels as well,
Mhm.
but I didn't know that there was a commingling of your energy
No, yeah,
too.
of course. There is.
Well, yeah, you have to let them into your energy field to be able to allow the angels to reach them
Yeah.
because they're working through you.
Yes.
Okay.
Whew, that's a lot of information. A lot of information.
Omar's head's like
You asked the question.
I know. Okay, so next part, Mary Elizabeth. So I thought about you a lot. Being ME.
Yes.
When you are in your sessions and you are speaking to somebody during our psychic evening, for the most part, ME is giving the information, or is we giving the information?
We,
100% of the time.
93.9% of the time. The only time Emmy will step in that we allow her to is when she says they are not understanding. Can I help give them a perspective?
So you are using, not using, you are talking through ME to provide a perspective on what we is telling them.
I'm speaking as Mary Elizabeth
Uh-huh.
to provide an understanding of what we is telling them when I notice they are confused.
Does ME, because is Mary Elizabeth aware of the information going from we to the client? And if she is aware, is it something that sits in your mind and your energy and your frequency at the end?
You said a few things there that we want to clarify
Sure.
because you have been in our view for almost a year and a half, and we hear some confusion there, so we want to help those who are listening who know nothing of ME. ME is Mary Elizabeth. She is born to be one with we. She is not a channel. She embodies our energy and all energy that comes into her view. So if you are in a room with ME, you will be in her physicality to a point energetically. Do you understand what we mean? So, in that regard, when we are sitting with a client, we are leading, the inner self, the divine source, God, if you please, are providing the information. We are here to share the message with each and every one of you why you are here, what it is that is your truth. And what you do with that information is up to you. Mary Elizabeth is embodied with we. Thus, our thoughts and her thoughts exist in this human being. So as we speak, she is observing the conversation.
Mary Elizabeth.
Yes.
Okay.
And she can then interject, which is why so many are confused, because this is one voice. The only time, if you pay attention, you will notice a difference in the cadence here. She speaks slightly differently than we do in cadence.
Yes.
And we have a tendency to rhyme more than she. Does that make
It
sense?
does.
But if you are not aware, the majority assumes ME is bringing this information through. Though she is smart, she's not that smart here. Do you understand what we mean?
Because I always thought that, and not even until recently I thought that, and then I was told no, and then it opened up a whole lot of other questions I had, and I'm sure that we're going to proceed on those questions eventually during our podcast.
You mentioned the fact that when she channels, we are not being channeled. We exist in this physicality to a point of energy that no other human being on this earth holds. She is unique, but she is also psychic and a channel for all energies. So when the dead come through and take over her physicality, that's how they take over her physicality, you see. That's how the body shifts, because she embodies the energy also. So she is present fully in their conversation too, where most channels are disconnected. Do you understand?
I do.
They move out of the way for who they channel to speak, where ME does not leave.
Interesting. I have a question.
But
I have a question for Nina,
Sure.
since we're talking about channeling. When you were channeling, when you
Ishtar.
Ishtar, are you, like Mary Elizabeth says, are you like on the side and you're listening in, or are you just translating what he says to you? How does that work for you?
So my channeling is a little bit different because I'm channeling is the Galactic Federation,
Okay.
where hers is more specifically source.
Uh-huh.
Mine is a council of extraterrestrials, I guess you would call. So I am completely aware of what's coming out of my mouth.
Okay.
Because also when I'm dealing with an audience, because I did the sessions in an audience, not on my one-on-ones, and I will pick up the questions that people have in their heads.
Mhm.
So then I myself would will ask in my mind if it's okay if I open up the floor for questions, because there was confusion, unless they picked it up. If they picked it up, I went ahead, there's confusion, there's whatever. So I'm able to have conversations with them as I'm having this process, fully aware of what is being said. There has been occasions where the audience is a very good audience. They're light workers, starseeds, whatever you want to call them. So they understand it, right? And then my trance will go deeper, in which at that point I'm really just observing and not having those conversations with.
And then you're just stepping aside and they're going.
At that point, yeah,
Okay.
it really depends on the chemistry and the dynamics of the group.
Okay.
Can we just put a thought out here?
Mm-hmm.
In what you said in the beginning, the first part, when you speak and you can interact, you realize you're part of that collective.
Yes. Yeah, yes.
That is how you can interact.
Mhm.
You are not channeling that collective.
I
You
think
are,
channeling is more of an easier term for people to understand.
Yes, we understand.
Yeah.
Emmy has the same issue. But what we're saying here, we just want to make that clear to others too, that you are actually part of that collective.
Two collectives.
Yes.
on the home base here, what we call the 3D, and the Galactic Federation Collective
Yes.
as well.
That's what we're saying. You are part of the Galactic Federation.
Right.
You are just a human member of that federation, you see.
Oh, wow.
Do you think I had questions? Do you think Mary Elizabeth blows my mind? Stuff like that. So when you are talking to a person in a session, are you trying to help them understand the Galactic Empire?
It's just a collective, not
Oh,
empire.
Galactic Empire. I don't know. I like Galactic Empire. Sounds so much better.
Think Star Trek.
Exactly.
Yes, it's a federation.
Yes.
So when you're talking to Darth Vader.
No, we're doing Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk, it's Kirk.
Yeah. So,
Federation.
so what? Okay. So what is your approach to a client when you're at a psychic meet there and you are talking to them? Are you trying? What exactly are you trying to help this client with?
So two different things. When I'm with a client and when a psychic event, I'm actually just doing readings, like psychic readings, mediumship.
Not tied. To the collective
Not
empire.
tied. Depending, it just depends. I'll do if it's a energy healer or whatever. Then I completely change what I do, and it's a light activation, which is a DNA manipulation. And within that comes the intuitive knowing, and it comes like the psychic readings and mediumship. That all comes in through that process. When I do the audience, that's a completely different thing, because what I do is I give a message to the collective to prepare them for what's to come, right? So all of this that's happening now, I've been saying for the past 2 years. And then afterwards, I end with a meditation to kind of like chill them out,
Because they're all worried now.
It's like, first you freak them out, and then we're gonna
Freaking out. Tell them.
Holy shit, what did you just say?
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, maybe not unfortunately, but the information that I get they're very serious. So I try to like be more practical and just make it very like sugarcoat thing, which is why I had a lot of the interaction with them. Like, I'm not going to say that, that's like, no.
So let's talk about the galactic part of it, and let's go back to your conversation with a client, how you're trying to do mediumship. So you're just medium, trying to be a medium, trying to help them with their long lost brothers or fathers, or animals or dogs or pets. Is that how you're trying to relate to the customer when you help them?
No, it's good. That part of being a client is super, super simple, basic, what you would consider, one would think of when you go see a psychic.
Mhm.
It's to that level.
Okay.
They have questions, I answer them. If I have someone coming in, I'll let them know. I give them names of people that are coming in. Or they come in already saying, I want to talk to, I don't know, my mother or whatever, then I just directly connect to their mother. But it's really, that to me is just like the basic stuff that, one would do.
Okay.
Not exciting.
But nay, that.
Did you get that? Not
Not
exciting.
exciting. Yeah, 'cause that's-
I mean,
It's just basic.
there's lots of people with lightsabers and blah blah.
No,
And Nada's not basic.
no, she's not. So I'm gonna say Nathan doesn't do basic. I mean, she has done basic because it's easy and people ask for it, but her gifts are to help the collective, the whole world, come online and realize that we are more than, the humdrum 3D.
Yeah.
And so her messages are for those who are ready to be enlightened.
That's really what it comes down to. I've now come away from that because you hit it right on. It's for those people that are ready for it, which is one of the reasons why I stopped doing the presentations, because I see their faces and I'm like, okay, weirdo, so that was my cue.
911. I got a one for a jacket here.
I know. So it's different. And what I enjoy about this group is because I come up with these downloads of how I can help them enhance their abilities, which also helps enhance mine too, and try to open you up as well, Mr. Reluctant, And so I experiment with these downloads that I have, and it's up to me to kind of put it together, kind of like a puzzle piece, and say, how can I apply this with the stuff that I have and stuff I can get to get them the most optimal. So if I were to do this again, it would be in a group dynamic because it's what I have felt with you guys is really cool because when the energy is just right, I get a taste of what a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat would be like.
Mhm.
And that is so amazing for me because as the energy is stronger, then your healing is stronger. My healing is stronger. It's a win-win situation for everybody because everybody's accepting of it. So that's what I like to do. I like having the smaller, intimate, retreat-esque things because you're right. I mean, my work, and I'm not trying to sound like snooty or anything, but it's more you want to know, and I'm going to give you the information. But if you're not going to take it, don't bother.
Wanda was Joyce.
Who's Joe
Look him up
Dispenza?
later. Look him up later.
Some people love Joe Dispenza.
Yeah.
All right, well, I haven't met him
He
yet.
died.
He's all right.
Right.
I don't know who it is
That's-
either.
Oh, you don't know either? Oh, okay.
That's why I asked Wanda.
He's on Gaia. Just watch it there.
And YouTube. All of
And
YouTube.
YouTube, yeah. Joe
I have all his books.
What's Gaia? Never mind.
Wisconsin.com.
So you're that's what you were when I was trying to think about your question and what I needed to ask because I don't think I thoroughly understood even a little bit of what you did and how you did it. I don't because I was never involved in watching any of your sessions. I go, I need to ask a little more about what she does and who she does it for and how she does it because I know the audience doesn't know her and I know these three probably know, but I was like, I know her name is Nathan.
Well, you know the type of clients I received, right? The ones that actually came to me were the eccentric ones.
Yeah. And we talked about that. The guy with the hat and the bow and arrow.
They're
Yeah.
the eccentric ones. I dug that.
Yeah.
I dug that stuff.
I just thought 911, we need a straight jacket. But anyway, now that I know,
Well, where do you think all these sci-fi visions and movies come from? I mean, they come from some conscious level
Yeah.
for them to be able to get that information or have that imagination to be able to create Star Wars and
and it's
all the other
yeah,
things
yeah.
that we see on
Because
TV
George
movies.
Lucas was
George Lucas is
yeah,
connected
yeah.
in some way.
In some way,
And
because
James Cameron.
he
Yeah,
saw
James Cameron, they're all.
he was interviewed and because the entire Star Wars world, I know there's been 9 films and a whole lot of stuff, but he says, in my mind, the worlds are endless. I just don't have the time or effort to put them down on paper, but they're there.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
they continue on and on in my mind, in his mind.
Yeah.
So,
He's been given the information.
yeah.
This is the interesting thing. And me always says it, and it's very true. What you believe to be myth and fantasy is all based in reality. It's just not in your world's view, so you don't understand that you're watching truth.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's very true.
It is so funny because
Multi-dimensional.
I can talk about this with them and they'll be like, okay, as well. But like I've been taken to the mothership. What the mothership is named called Athena. I've seen the hybrid children that are being made to come into birth. I know their purpose. I've seen it, right? Can you imagine me going to a psychic fair and talking to a regular person? I just went to Athena. I saw the hybrid children.
911, straight jacket.
That's the thing.
So you have a heart. Okay. Wait. So I
He's
look at.
going, his head's going,
No.
mothership. Okay.
I know that what Wanda and we and me do, and I have an understanding on some level, but your stuff is just way out, and I don't know if I would. I mean, I can think about it, what you said, and I can talk to you about it, but I don't know.
You just have to experience me.
I'm working.
Like a roller coaster.
Well, you're a sci-fi fan, Omar.
Here, I am. Here's the deal. 2025. What was Omar doing? 2025. Get rid of the reluctant. It's just a healer. Just a healer.
We're not ready to go all the
We're
way.
not ready to go.
Yeah, I just want to do the energy shift.
We're not going to go all the way to
Knowing
the
the information that she may have in her head, For me, light years away.
If I had met you 12 years ago, I would have thought you were crazy because I never believed in aliens. Never. I knew they were dead. I knew they were angels. I knew all that. But aliens, I was like, I'm sure there's life outside of there. It would be stupid not to believe that because it's a big universe. But the idea of the mothership would have totally.
Freak you out?
I would have been like, not me.
I would have been all in.
Yeah, I would have jumped right on ship.
So
But
there-
through
I'm a
this
sci-fi fan.
process-
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
every time I come down to the ranch, I'm like, I may be abducted by aliens.
She's so excited.
So back in 1959, Rod Serling from the Twilight Zone wrote an episode for Twilight Zone called, it was weird. It's one of the best episodes that I can remember. It was called To Serve Man.
Is that the opposite we're talking about?
Right.
To serve
Do you
man?
remember the episode?
And not the episode. I watched
Okay.
Twilight Zone all the
So
time.
to serve man, aliens come to this world, and they are, giant. They're 9-foot big guys, and their idea is they leave their book, their little notebook on the counter and they promise all mankind no more
pain.
no more pain, no
Suffering.
food, suffering,
No more wars.
no more wars.
That's what
And
we
what?
say.
Yeah, and what?
Utopia.
Yeah, utopia. And what are the human beings? Hop on board. Gave them access to everything, and they did. The wheat fields that wouldn't be wheat fields had wheat. The waters that were dry had water. There was not anybody getting sick anymore. There was food for everybody, and then they started doing a swap. We'll send you send us, some people. We'll send you some people so they can learn from each other, right? So they were loading these spaceships back and forth of humans to their planet, and then their planets or their people to this planet. And someone in the science department figured out on their book,
They decoded
they
it.
decoded it. And it said To Serve Man. What they couldn't decode was the one below it, and it was a cookbook. It was To Serve Man. Follow me.
But isn't that very interesting? Because
That's funny.
the alien-esque energy
Yeah.
that comes through is here to serve humanity,
Yeah,
to heal, to uplift, and to guide you.
yeah.
But the human mind
Takes
took
it
it
away.
to a space of fear.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
even in that writing, the information given was then created to become a threat.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I was just
So
stating
we just found that interesting.
Yeah, I just found it very interesting.
But we like the play on words.
Yeah. So anyway, well, I thank you. I thank these fabulous, amazing women for being in my life, for showing me things that I didn't know about myself. And like I said early on, that I see 2025 as being a way for me to move forward, to take what I've learned from these young ladies, and I said young ladies, what I take from these young ladies and hopefully help me understand me and be the healer that I'm meant to be. So thank you again.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
And friends, thank you.
Thank you.